This bridge was built in 1554 by a group of nuns, or sponsored by them. Single arch bridge with purple red gravel. By that I think they mean red stone. I'm guessing that it was probably restored at some point in time, since the red rock on top looks a lot newer than that on the bottom. This is the Fang family's archway. Okay, on the top, this is apparently a ghost. In one hand, a ghost theoretically with protruding teeth. Let's see. Perhaps so, yes. And in one hand, I'll leave it up for later to see this in detail. In one hand, he is holding a writing brush, better to pick out the best among the intelligent scholars. And in the other, a quan, an old grain measurement on the foot to measure one's intelligence and knowledge. So on his foot there should be I'm calling it a quan. This was built in 1527. From I think the early periods of China history was what was called the shi. It sounds the same or looks the same as the word yes, S-H-I, was the name of the literati, those who passed the special examinations to become the bureaucracy, if you will. While that concept was occasionally dropped, in the main it was reinstated over and over again throughout Chinese history. So while a modern family might aspire to have its children become doctors and lawyers after going to university, here it was to become part of the literati. This is on the reverse side. Somewhere on this side is supposed to be two lions under an imaginary moon playing with a silk ball. This may or may not be it. This pavilion, built in the 1551 in the Qing period of the Ming Dynasty, was to motivate people to do good deeds. Apparently there was a second couplet that said, making a casual stop on the endless way to the future and putting aside something anxious in your mind. This mud and brick and wood building was built for the elderly to come and have meetings. And I think these people want me to come and buy something. Here another little artist's architectural device for holding up the roof edge on this courtyard. Here another building. This is the remains of a home of the Wang family, a legendary family in China, along with the Li family. This is interesting, probably water pools, but there may have been just enough water to fill the moat around this central part, the moat reflecting eternity in the universe, I think, square area reflecting Earth. Moved between the two, and maybe somewhere in there it came in and went out automatically. Built in the mid-Ming Dynasty to a wealthy merchant. When we come into this house, immediately on the left and right are two rooms, and then this kind of entry courtyard, if you will, covered. And then as we get into the open center courtyard, these two pools that reflect the same what we saw a few moments ago. But this is interesting because of all the beautiful wood. I mean, the whole inside is this carved wood, which is very pretty. But look almost to be floor to ceiling swing out panels over this open courtyard, which is perhaps where the water came from, direct from the sky. Duh. Okay, through here is the stairway. And it apparently used to have a door that covered it to prevent burglars from getting in. This is interesting because we're getting up here on this floor. Notice, first of all, the brick flooring. And notice this completely curved, designed bench. Because see, there used to be a door that would cover this, so burglars couldn't get up at night. Another such bench here. So the floors were all solid rather than wood. One wonders what this room was for, although it looks like those would be panels that would open up. Perhaps this was where the more intimate lives were lived in, bedrooms and sitting areas. And downstairs was the common area. Imagine how beautiful this must have been when it was all fresh. And there's still another loft area, certainly for storage. That would be useful, if not for some sleeping. And here's a sleeping bed, or platform. Perhaps you slept in these side rooms, and then this center room was more of a personal living room. And here, another set of stairs going down. And I've walked completely around. So when you had this board in, you could move literally all around the upper floor. With lamps of some sort hung on these hooks. Here's some different design elements. Almost like a balcony, carved balcony with opening door there. The beautiful carving here, more richly so than the building we were just in. Look at those that are carved as almost balls. Apparently, according to interpretive design, this man was trying to show off with this very large room on the second floor. Again, considering that this may have been where most of the family lived most of the time. You can see there was also a back portion of the house. It's very Jackson Hole-ish. Build a giant house and build a guest house bigger than most people who are your neighbors could afford to live in. Must be the door that went through there. Here a unique view for us, looking down from a second floor into the lower courtyard, where you could talk to people who would come to visit, or tradesmen who would come to bring their wares. Again, imagine with this tremendous amount of wood up here, how magnificent this would look, and reflect on the fact that in our area in Jackson and elsewhere, we'll put a scrawny little 2x4 times 3 beam across the ceiling and think it's nostalgically rustic. These are very steep stairs. That's it for Qiankou.